like to call the Physical Services Committee meeting for Monday, June 18th, 2018 to order. Please call the roll.
Councilor Hill.
Here.
Councilor Wilmot.
Here.
Councilor DeMasi.
Here.
Councilor Gozick.
Here.
Is there any old business to come before this committee? Seeing none, we'll move on to new business. Under authorization, Justin Rudgick, Community Development Director, received a request from Mayor City Sneeze, Executive Director of the H. Lee White Maritime Museum, regarding the H. Lee White Museum's Paddle Fest, to be held on Saturday, August 18, 2018. The event is requesting the use of public space for parking at the Wrights Landing area, use of Flexo site parking, use of parking lot across from Gibby's Pub. Lastly, they're requesting use of public space by the Flexo site green space at West 1st and Lake Street for celebration festivities. Is there anyone to speak to this event?
Good evening. I just wanted to say we are so excited to take this on. I'm a little terrified, but we are excited, and Jake, who is the founder of this event, is in blood, said that he would commit himself for 2 summers, so at least. We're really excited, and people have been very positive. And there's a big learning curve, but it's a great opportunity for us to partner with other communities outside of Oswego, Minetto, Fulton. There's all kinds of organizations as well that will be getting engaged into the activity. We're trying to consolidate a little bit and have things a little bit closer to where the exit will be, which is into our voting center, which is why we're not requesting the space on the Riverwalk. We're trying to enlist, Gibby's Pub as part of this after event, maybe some food trucks and whatnot. But that's why we're kind of gathering it in that entry to the pier, Coast Guard, across from the Coast Guard kind of thing. So that's why we're putting in the request that we have here.
Okay. Are there any questions from the council? Okay. Councilor DeMasi.
I'm just thrilled that it's your group taking over. You've done amazing things, and I know your dedication. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Okay. Yeah, I understand there were some logistical issues that are being worked on. The resolution will be provided by the Community Development Office when those all of those concerns are settled, including places to park and things of that matter. Jake.
Well, it's really not the Flexo site. It's really the green space where the Fort Oswego Rock is. I mean, that's what I have put down as for parking. I was envisioning if they're not in Minetto or Fulton, they would be in the Wrights Landing area. Because I know they've already have equipment staged there in the parking space, so
yeah,
I realize that we're not able to use that.
We just want to be sure that the resolution accurately reflects the plan at the time. So
we just want to make sure that if she's going to use the parking area across from Gibby's Pub rather than the green space, that if we need to utilize the parking at Flexo, they have that area right there in front of Flexo to use for the parking, and then they can use more of the parking lot, which will have to corner off, which will mean the trailers and the vehicles will not be as far over in that parking lot as they normally are on a Saturday.
Okay.
Because there's also a regatta going on as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Busy.
So we just need to make sure that our perimeters are correct so that everybody has the space that they need and the parking is available. Okay.
Any other questions, concerns from the public? Okay, could I take a motion, please? Councilor Gozick, Councilor DeMasi.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Is there any other business to come before this committee? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Counselor Gozick and Counselor DeMassey.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
At this time, I'd like to open the Administrative Services Committee meeting for Monday, June 18th. Please call the roll.
Counselor Corradino.
Here.
Counselor DeMassey.
Here.
Counselor Hill.
Here.
Counselor Tesoriero.
Here.
Counselor Wilmot.
Here.
I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of June 4th, 2018 committee meeting. Counselor Wilmot, Counselor Tesoriero.
Counselor Corradino.
Yes.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Tesoriero.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
Is there any old business for this committee to address? Seeing none, moving right along to new business under authorization. Item number 1, Randall Griffin, Fire Chief, is requesting permission to donate the City of Oswego Fire Department's Wasco Mat commercial washing machine to the Oswego County Emergency Responders Training Center. Chief Griffin did call me about a half hour ago. He's at an emergency and will be unable to be here tonight, but I think everybody on the committee got the packet. We were recently in receipt of a donated washing machine, so this one is no longer needed by the fire department. So it's pretty cut and dry. Since we have a new one, we don't need the old one. Are there any questions or comments? Councilor Tesoriero.
No, I actually got to see the new machine. It was donated to the City of Oswego, and I think this is a great thing for Oswego County, especially the Emergency Responders Training Center, to wash their gear. So I'm full support of it. It's a no-brainer.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Seeing none, can I have a motion? Councilor Hill, Councilor DeMassey.
Counselor Corradino.
Yes.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Tesoriero.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
Item number 2, Christian Slimmer, Youth Activities Coordinator, is requesting the approval of artwork by the Common Council for the 2018 installment of the Springboard Mural Project. Is there somebody here to speak to it?
I would be here. Kristen Slimmer. Good evening. Thank you guys for being here. This year it was actually it's going to be our 10th year of the installation of the Springboard Mural Project. There were 16 submissions, not even just from the City of Oswego. So we have the interest of this project has it's become a precedent. So we have people from outside the city also looking to be involved as well and make their mark. So we had 16 submissions at this point. So I was hoping to be able to move forward with that.
Very good. Any comments or concerns, questions, issues? Seeing none, can I have a motion? Councilor Tesoriero, Councilor DeMassey.
Counselor Corradino.
Yes.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Tesoriero.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
And
Thank
we need
you.
a resolution.
Yes, you do need a resolution. How about Justin Rudgick? Item 3, I'm not sure if item 3 is on the list, but that was taken care of by Physical Services. Item 4, Justin Rudgick, Community Development Director, is requesting a budget amendment for the Lower Harbor Trail Enhancement Project in the amount of $225,000, which will be reimbursed when the project is completed. Mayor, would you like to speak to this?
Sure. So this is a project that I laid out in my State of the City address back in January. It was identified in our waterfront feasibility study when we did that in 2016. And it was a project, one of the first projects that we submitted under consideration for the CFAs in 2016. When we sent it in for the CFAs, it came back, we won $590,000 for several projects, the fuel tanks in the marina, the light repainting of the Oswego Lighthouse, the river dockage behind the Cahill building, and the Harbor Trail project. So $175,000 of this $225,000 is money from that CFA LWRP grant. The other $50,000, which is essentially what I'm asking the Common Council to allocate tonight, is the required match to accept that grant and be able to do the work down at the Harbor Oswego Harbor Trail. This project is important to me, and we submitted it in the waterfront feasibility study and submitted it in the first round of CFAs in 2016 because personally it was always an improvement project that I wanted to see and I thought should have been done a long time ago, and probably was the original intention was to make the trail probably look like this, I would imagine, because I have no idea why the city would spend that much money to do what could be a nice project just to let it become overgrown with weeds and brush. So this project is the Harbor Trail is along the bottom of Brightback Park. It actually starts at the west end of Brightback Park, and if you follow the Harbor Trail, the actual Harbor Trail goes all the way up past Bridey Manor, past the post office and beyond. We're talking about the trail right at the bottom of Brightback Park. If you walk the trail now, or if you walked the trail a few days ago, you would have found that on either side of the trail, both between the water and the trail, was all overgrown with brush and weeds, and the area between Brightback Park and the slope down to the trail was overgrown with brush and weeds. So the plan is to level the area between Brightback Park and the trail, and between the trail and the water. We will remove all of the weeds, all the brush, and install quality, well thought out landscaping. We will have a seating area at the western edge of the project so people can actually view the sunset, where we intend to lay pavers down. We have a secondary trail that will actually carve into the slope so folks can either walk the bottom Harbor Trail or gradually go up the secondary trail into Brightback Park. We are installing riprap. Once we remove all the brush, we are installing stone that they call riprap to actually go between the trail and the lake. This riprap lays down. You probably don't recognize the name riprap, but I can assure you you've seen it before, and allows you to walk down to the water and actually have access to dip your toes in the water if you'd like, go fishing, or just hang out on the rocks and near the water. We're also going to use this money to build 2 small decks that will go out over the water a couple of feet, and we will have benches on the decks so people, if they want to throw in their fishing line or just sit and watch the sunset or relax on the water, they can. And we will install, using the riprap, some natural seating areas along the trail as well. Going back to the funding part of this, what I'm also asking the Common Council to do, if you approve of the $50,000, is to actually set up an Oswego Harbor Trail account. And what we'll do is take the grant is reimbursed once the project's complete. So we have to front the $225,000, and we will be reimbursed. Setting up this second account, I think, is good for a couple of things. It's easy for the city to track what we need to be reimbursed and make sure that that's, and for the state's end, they will obviously see it's the most transparent process we could set up. Any transaction that comes out of that $225 account has to be related to Harbor Trail. And it just allows us to track it easier. One note is we can be reimbursed for labor. The state will reimburse for labor costs. The original plan was to sub this out to an outside contractor. However, we have most of the equipment we need in-house already. And I think it actually will, it's important to me to have this be a city product, so I would prefer the Oswego DPW to do this, and I would ask to not be reimbursed for the labor costs, because that way the $225,000 will go further towards the product, towards landscaping, towards the decks, towards the secondary trail, towards the riprap, and we can expand the project and really make the project an A+, rather than settling for a B or a C+, which is what the Harbor Trail is now in my view. So I just want to in detail say the $225,000 will be used for the project itself, choosing not to be reimbursed by labor costs, and to set up this separate account.
Okay, thank you very much. Any comments or concerns? Councilor DeMasi.
I just have a question. When you have these grants like this, do they come back, like, in order to get reimbursed, are they tough on, like, what the end product looks like, what you actually spent the money on, or do you automatically get reimbursed for the amount you were allotted? I was just curious, like, as to,
Well, the most we can possibly be reimbursed for is the $175,000, which is the state's money that's paying for the project.
Right.
So we front the money, and because now normally community development in DPW and City Chamberlain's office would have to coordinate and specifically track every single invoice. For instance, if DPW did it in-house, but we didn't set up this account, we would have to go through and see, okay, we bought landscaping out of the landscaping account. We bought the riprap out of the grounds account. We rented a bulldozer for 2 days. We don't have to because we have one. We rented a bulldozer for 2 days. Actually, we are renting a bulldozer. So we do have to rent a bulldozer. So we would have to go into the rental account and see, okay, we contracted services. We rented that for 2 days. And compile those invoices and submit them to the state. We still have to, but it'll be much easier to track because it's just coming out of that account.
Out of here.
And unless it's related to the project, we can't use the $225,000 Harbor Trail account.
gotcha. Thank you.
Counselor?
Mayor, we're very excited about the project. I think anything that helps people gain access to the waterfront is exciting and constructive to the city as a whole. I'm wondering, and I've had a few people ask me about, with the addition of the sloping trail up to Brightbeck Park, cutting into the bank, how is the city going to manage the issue of the brown site, fly ash deposits, coal ash deposits?
So, it's really not, if you mean the hill collapsing, that certainly isn't going to
I
happen.
just mean disturbing it.
Well, we've already contacted DEC to get the proper permits we've needed. Even before we touched anything down there, we worked with the company Edgewater did our waterfront feasibility study. So they looked into this while they were drafting that plan. Once we won the grant, we worked with their subconsultant, EDR, who actually walked the trail and walk the trail with our DPW to point out what we can remove and what we can't remove, what we can do in terms of, bats, for instance. Use one specific tree down there to fly in and mate or whatever, and they use that, so we can't touch that. Some species of plants down there we can remove, but we can't remove them until the month of July. So we have to follow those instructions. So we've set that out during the spring and walked the trail with EDR and made DEC aware of what we're doing. We are still waiting on one permit from the DEC, and that is the permit to actually physically put the structure of the deck into the bottom of the lake. We've already had it signed off by the federal level. I don't know if it was the EPA or Army Corps, but they signed off. We just need the DEC to sign off. I've seen those emails, and there doesn't seem to be a problem other than just waiting, playing the waiting game like we always have to. So there's...
So the DEC has signed off on the coal ash deposits disturbing not being an issue?
I mean, I don't know if they specifically signed off on coal ash not being an issue, but I feel like I would have known it is an issue by now, because the only thing we're waiting on is the not related to the fly ash, coal ash, or whatever it is.
Thank you.
Yep.
Counselor Gozick?
Yeah, just a question. I mean, I've utilized it for years, and I was just wondering, accessibility, will it still be open to bicycles, rollerblades, and other things like that?
Yep, so the trail, the purpose of the trail isn't going to change. Just going to improve the trail. I should say, I forgot to say this, we are asking folks to try to stay off of the trail for the next 3 weeks. During these next 3 weeks, we'll have the heavy equipment down there, a lot of the DPW equipment and the bulldozer we are renting. It's already staged down there and started to clear the one area closest to Liberty Street. So we would ask people to try to stay away and consider the trail closed for the next 3 weeks. Once we do the work and we can move the heavy equipment out, we'll open it back up while we're still putting the finishing touches on. But the use of the trail isn't changed, and we just ask folks to try to stay away for 3 weeks or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments for the mayor? Seeing none, can I have a motion? Counselor DeMassey, Counselor Hill.
Counselor Corradino.
Yes.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Tesarero.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
And we need a resolution.
I'm sure the mayor's office would like to do that. Item number 5. Mayor William J. Barlow Jr. requests permission to transfer funds to the softball reserve account to continue the services of Champion Events and to close the account upon payment to Champion Events. I think everybody got information in their packet, and I see there's a representative here from Champions. Why don't we start with you, and you can share your thoughts on this.
Yeah, so far, good start. That's for sure. Obviously, thank you to the council. So we're looking at adding field mix to 5 and 6, fields 5 and 6. If you're not familiar with that, that's the fields closest to the concession stand on the right-hand side of the path. We're going to be adding mix there because right now we did not add any mix. We added mix to fields 1, 2, and 3. Fields 5 and 6 were just scarified, which basically just took the existing dirt on top and the weeds and scraped it all off and got rid of it, mixed it around a little bit. But we're going to be adding mix to field 5 and 6 and complete renovation of field 4, which is, I don't know if you've seen the field of field 4, but yeah, it needs some work. So complete renovation of field 4 is going to be done there as well. So that's about sums that up.
Well, I do want to mention that when we first went into this agreement, you didn't promise, and really we didn't expect that there would be any tournaments in the year 2018. But can you talk about what you're planning to bring to Oswego this season?
Yeah, so based on the feedback that we were receiving, not just locally, but throughout our email or through our team contacts and organizations throughout the state and Northeast, and because we post all these things and what we've been doing at Legends Fields, we see no reason at this point why we shouldn't be bringing these tournaments up immediately. And that goes hand in hand with getting the remaining Field 5, 6, and Field 4 done as quickly as possible. And we're going to start with our first event. We just held a tournament this past weekend. I don't know if you're aware of that, but we had about 21, 22 teams there, and it was phenomenal. And it was just praise all around for the city, the field, staff, everything. It was a lot of fun. But we're going to be bringing our big nationals tournament, girls nationals tournament, which hosts about 50 teams that we want to bring up here, July 13th to the 15th. So it's 3 days of 9 different states and Canadian teams as well that they're going to be here. You're talking anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 people that will ascend upon the city of Oswego. So we're really looking forward to doing that, and in the years to come, obviously. And including, excuse me, so I can keep going off on that, a whole list of our fall tournament, September, October, and then obviously a full slate in the next coming years. We're talking over 20, 30 tournaments a year.
And you need this work done on Field 4, especially to accommodate these tournaments that you're talking about?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, with that many teams, you probably need all 6 fields? Is that what you're saying?
We need all 6. We can talk about adding 7, 8 if you want.
We'll save that for another day.
Yeah, that's another day.
Or another council. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's it.
Anybody have any questions? Yes, Councilor Hill.
First, I did get a chance to visit the field this weekend during the tournament.
Oh, good.
So it's nice to see the fields back in use and close to what they were intended for. A lot of people, a lot of activity, everything looks great. So I want to, just thank you for that, because it does look great. My concern is more related to the additional support we provided during Phase 1 by the Department of Public Works. I spoke with DPW Commissioner Kells today, and he indicated that we provided, by his estimate, a minimum of 120 man-hours of assistance during Phase 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm not sure what the other councilors think, but my impression was that we would be making the investment, and then your company would be kind of taking the reins and taking over.
Okay.
I understand that a portion of the money that you're requesting essentially closes out the softball account, so we're not really looking for the full amount as an additional expense. But can you say that for Phase 2 and beyond, we won't be required to use our DPW resources any longer?
Yes, I can say that.
Okay.
And then that 120 man-hours, the agreement is that we were to be given the facility in working order. And there was so much work to be done, that is why they were spending most of their time up there. Putting fences up, plumbing, you name it. I mean, it was a lot. It's been vacant for a while, so that's why I think that's the man-hours that were spent up there. But yeah, that should, with the fields and everything else, we'll be able to take care of all that.
Okay. That was the one item. The second is at the bottom of the proposal. It says Champion Events requests that the scoreboard on Field 2 be repaired and the water pipe behind Field 3 be repaired. I also spoke to Commissioner Kells about these, and he said he wasn't comfortable giving a blanket approval for those things until he gets a chance to look at them and make sure that they're feasible given the other obligations of the department. So he would like to meet with you this week before the resolution goes to council, just to give his perspective on that and to make sure that it's going to be feasible with our resources.
Yep.
So that's
Okay.
We'll get the contact information to you so we can set that up. Perfect. Thank you.
Anybody else? Oh, I see a hand up in the back corner.
I know people that have been up there before and after this company have taken over. It's 100% improvement up there, okay? 100%. And as far as I'm concerned, from what I can hear from the community, give them what they want.
Thank you, Miles.
Thank you.
I did want to point out a couple things, just to make sure everybody's aware of what we're spending here. I mean, according to the resolution, there's $8,743.82 left in the dedicated softball account. You're asking for approximately $15,000, so we're voting on authorizing a transfer from contingency of $6,256.18 for this Phase 2. And as you clarified with Justin a minute ago, that should be the end of our investment for quite a while, as far as I'm concerned, and I think this council is concerned. We put a lot of resources into it. And I think rightfully so, because there was an original investment of $1.2 million to build this facility, I think in 1993. So it would be a shame to let it go by the wayside. And I think your company's done a good job, as well as the DPW, in getting things to where it is now.
Yeah, I think it's...
Yes, go ahead.
This weekend, when you had your tournaments, were they at the hotels? Because they were packed over there. Was that you people?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Another reason why. Give him whatever he wants.
Well, speaking of hotels, certainly when you have teams coming from out of town, I mean long distances, they do have to stay in hotels. And I see you have an economic impact study here. So they're staying in hotels for a couple nights. They're buying gasoline, unless they have an electric car. They're eating in restaurants, unless they bring their own food. And who knows, they might go to the movie theater or do some other things while they're here, go to the Richardson Bates house. So certainly, I mean, there is an economic impact. It's not unlike during the wintertime, you know about the power play hockey tournament? I know during the wintertime, that really is a big shot in the arm for our local economy, because not much going on here in February, I hate to say it, and having a tournament of that size with all the children, the players, and the parents staying in hotels and eating in restaurants is a big economic boost. So I'm looking at it along those lines. Yes, Councilor.
Just one other question. When I was speaking with Commissioner Kells, he expressed a small amount of concern over winterization of the fields. Is that something your company will handle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be sure that...
Yeah.
Can we include that in the agreement so that those costs are not pushed to the Department of Public Works?
Sure, of course. I think it's important to note that Champions Events has also, just so it's fair, Champions Events has also have put in a substantial amount of our own money into the facility as well. So I don't want you to think that this is a one-sided deal here. And we put our money in as well, and we're all in to make this work for everybody. So. Hey.
How are you?
Okay. Thank you. Mayor, would you like to say something?
If, just to provide a little context, can you talk about the increase in participation numbers, the number of people you think the tournaments will bring in, and really just the overall, just to give context to why we're going to the next level, really the improvement in the participation and the quality of play we've seen in the last 2 months since Champions took over?
Yeah. You want me to,
Well, I mean, it's just, I know, how many teams did we have last year?
7 teams
We're at
last
7. We're
And
at,
this year
yeah,
we have
we're
how
at
many?
7. We're at just under 30. And next year we'll have 45, 50, no question about it. But we're bringing in kickball. We're bringing in all these other things as well to be able to accommodate everyone here. So.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments for Justin or anybody? Seeing none, can I have a motion? Councilor Hill, Councilor DeMassey.
Councilor Corodino.
Yes.
Councilor DeMassey.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Councilor Tesorero.
Yes.
Councilor Wilmot.
Yes.
Item number 6. Mark Tesorario, City Clerk, is requesting permission for the Deputy City Clerk to attend the 63rd Annual New York State Conference of Mayors Fall Training School for City and Village Officials to be held in Lake Placid, New York, from September 23rd to the 28th in 2018. Yes.
Good evening, councilors. I would like the opportunity to go to the fall training school. This will be my first one. I can start gaining training hours to work towards my registered municipal clerk certification.
Okay, it's pretty cut and dry. Any questions? Seeing none, can I have a motion? Councilor Tesorario, Councilor Wilmot.
Councilor Corodino.
Yes.
Councilor DeMassey.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Councilor Tesorero.
Yes.
Councilor Wilmot.
Yes.
Item number 7, Randall Griffin, Fire Chief, is requesting an intra-departmental rent transfer of $7,500 from account A.3410.0450 to account A.3410.0410 to purchase 4 ballistic vests and 2 swiftwater rescue suits for the City of Oswego Fire Department Rescue Task Force team. Again, the chief had contacted me earlier, and he is at an emergency and was unable to be here to explain this. But I think the supporting documents that we had with our packet explained everything. I mean, it's 2 swiftwater rescue suits and the 4 ballistic vests, something that they need for water rescue. Are there any questions, concerns? Seeing none, can I have a motion? Councilor Hill, Councilor DeMassey.
Councilor Corodino.
Yes.
Councilor DeMassey.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Councilor Tesorero.
Yes.
Councilor Wilmot.
Yes.
Item number 8, Deborah Coate, City Chamberlain, requests discussion for authorization to enroll the City of Oswego in the National Intergovernmental Purchasing Alliance. Mrs. Coate, would you like to share what you know about this?
That'll only take a second.
Well, I know you attached some documentation, but maybe you can expand on that.
This was at the recommendation of Onondaga County, as they are members, as well as Oswego County, and it's in the same nature as the state contract, so it's a cost savings, and JPA, I think, is the other one that the city belongs to. So when there's any terms of agreement, I look for approval from the council.
The only thing that I'm unclear about, I mean, last August, we were given a presentation by a gentleman from Onondaga County telling us all the good reasons why we should move our purchasing from City Hall to Onondaga County. And one of the reasons was that, you know, you'll have greater buying power, and we've got strength in numbers as far as what we're buying. And now I see they're recommending that you join some type of group. I mean, to me, it's contradicting what he said to me, most of us, in August.
I have no comment.
Okay. Does this cost us anything?
No.
I didn't see any cost, price. Okay. Well, it's a great deal. Any other questions or comments from the council? Seeing none, can I have a motion? Councilor Hill, Councilor Tesorario.
Councilor Corodino.
Yes.
Councilor DeMassey.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Councilor Tesorero.
Yes.
Councilor Wilmot.
Yes.
Item number 9, Ken Shervill, President of the Camden Group and consultant to the City of Oswego, is requesting discussion concerning asset management and CMMS development and implementation at the West Side Wastewater Treatment Plant. Ken?
I know I promised I wasn't going to be back until the fall, but I'm back.
That's what I was going to say.
And actually, I think I'll take a moment because as I walk through City Hall, I get, oh, more money? You need money? You're here today, you need money? And these improvements that we do actually do have a return and a payback. We've over the past 12 to 18 months installed 3 VFDs at the East Side Wastewater Treatment Plant. Those are about $23,000 a piece, but we got $11,000 rebate back from National Grid on each one of them. That's $33,000. And then the remaining of roughly $12,000, they save about $3,000 a year, so over the next 4 years, they'll pay for themselves, and then the following 10 years, we'll make money on each one of those pieces of equipment. And then probably 10 years from now, we'll have to do it again. Or 15 years from now, we'll have to do it again. But the things that we do are not just to spend money. They're to improve the quality of the facilities and save money over time. And this is a perfect example. We went through a full asset management program on the east side. That asset management program allowed us to plan and budget and put together financing, assistance of Mrs. Code, to be able to do a large project and then be able to get a $1.3 million grant to help us do that large project on the east side, which is a MCCs, HVAC, and a SCADA improvement, which is computerization for the east and west side. We do not have an asset management program on the west side, and we do not have a robust computerized maintenance management system, which is what CMS stands for. So the concept here is to now do an asset management program on the west side like we did on the east, but we can do an asset management program light because we've been through it one time, so we'll be able to put a lot more staff effort into it to be able to reduce the cost. And at the same time put a new computerized maintenance management system in, which will take all of this data from the east side and the west side, put it in. What we're asking for is the actual implementation. Take all that data, put it into the computerized maintenance management system, and interface it with our new SCADA system so that the management system, the maintenance system, is seeing hours and run times and temperatures from the SCADA system, putting it all together to then come out and tell you, hey, you've got something going on here. You might have to maintain this piece of equipment sooner than you thought you did. Little red flag. Or, okay, you've maintained it, now all the records, so now we've got tablets like you have. You'll go to the piece of equipment, you'll do your maintenance, you put it right on the tablet, boom, it loads to the cloud. We know exactly what took place at the facility. So now we're really tracking, we're really doing our preventive maintenance and looking at predictive maintenance. So it's a little more than it sounds. It's a whole lot going on in this one contract, but it's actually really taking the two sides, putting them together in a computerized management system to really see what's going on and be able to really maintain our facilities into the future. And I do expect that there probably will be some progress that will come out of it because we do have 30-year-old MCCs on that side just like we did on the east side.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Ken? Concerns? How much is this going to cost?
About $100,000.
Was it budgeted in last year's budget?
So we did not budget this piece, and the rationale is because we were not sure what our revenue was going to be. So this was one of those, well, if we can't do it next year, we can wait a year. It's not going to kill us. However, we were expecting some of our revenue from our waste haulers to be reduced because we thought one of them was going to be leaving us. So I did not want to put that in the budget because I did not know how I was going to pay for it. That hasn't happened. So we do have the revenue to take care of that. It's not in our fund, it's in the contingent fund, so it's going to have to come over. But the revenue is going to be there to take care of that $100,000.
Councilor Kizner.
She did this.
Is it there?
Yes.
It's there? Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other comments, questions? Seeing none, can I have a motion? Councilor DeMasi, Councilor Hill.
Councilor Corradino.
Yes.
Councilor DeMasi.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Councilor Ferrero.
Yes.
Councilor Wilmot.
Yes.
There is one add-on City Clerk's Office has received an application from Philip Gordon and Sons to operate their junkyard for the period July 1st, 2018 until June 30th, 2019. Would you like to explain this one?
Pretty simple. Gordon's has a junkyard, they need a license. It expires the end of June. They've already paid their fee, it's on deposit downstairs in the city clerk's office. We just need your approval.
And the fee is how much again?
$100.
Sounds like a good deal. I see a question in the front row.
I don't have an answer for that.
Is there a question in there?
I do believe they sell things. I know they buy things.
Oh, I think we have a clarification here.
Yes, they do, but it's market-based. So they sit on it till they get the price that they desire. So they're not going to sell it on the cheap. That's why you see the piles get bigger. But when scrap gets to a point where they can substantially make money, because they're paying money for the scrap coming in. So they pay a fair price of it coming in. They have to make a return on their investment, and that's why. I hear the trains. They come right by my house. When they come down there through the night and they pick up, they do sell it.
And environmentally, I mean, if they ever walk away from that site, is there any kind of escrow account that says that whomever in the end has to clean it up?
I cannot answer that. That's a good question to ask.
This committee is not here to address that issue.
Yeah.
Sorry to say. Yes, we are. That's all we're authorized to do here. Thank you for your question, though. Any other comments about a motion? Councilor Tesorerio, Councilor DeMasi.
Councilor Corradino.
Yes.
Councilor DeMasi.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Councilor Tesorero.
Yes.
Councilor Wilmot.
Yes. I believe that was the last item for this committee. Are there any other issues or comments you want to bring up in this committee? Seeing none, can I have a motion? Councilor Hill, Councilor Tesorerio.
Councilor Corradino.
Yes.
Councilor DeMasi.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Councilor Tesorero.
Yes.
Councilor Wilmot.
Yes.
Kevin, you got anything else? You done?
You're on.
Okay. This time I'd like to bring the Planning and Development Committee meeting to order June 18, 2018. Call the roll, please.
Councilor Tesorero.
Here.
Councilor Corradino.
Here.
Councilor McBrady.
Here.
At this time, can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the June 4th, 2018 committee meeting? Councilor Corradino. Councilor McBrady.
Councilor Tesorero.
Yes.
Councilor Corradino.
Yes.
Councilor McBrady.
Yes.
Is there any old business that needs to come before this committee tonight? I see none. We'll go right to the business at hand. The City Clerk's Office received a request from Nicholas Serino, owner of Lighthouse Lanes, LLC, located at 295 East Albany Street, for a waiver of the noise ordinance in order to have live music outside their parking lot from July through September 2018. And I have some correspondence that I'll share. It's that time of year, once again, when I'm requesting a variance to have the local noise ordinance in order to host live outdoor music concerts in the north parking lot at Lighthouse Lanes. They only have 4 concert dates this year: July 20th, August 3rd, 10th, 7th, and August 17th. The hours will be 7 p.m. to 12 p.m. In the past years, we have just given a blanket variance for the months of July, August, September. If that's okay, that's what I'm asking for. If you have any questions, you know, it's in compliance with what we've tried to do. Would be consistent with every noise ordinance I think we've given. I've never had one complaint received from anything they've had there in my short term, and the police station has never had any. I talked with them today also. So, anybody from, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. I'm so sorry, Bob. Bob, I'm sorry. You want to speak on behalf? I didn't see you there.
I don't have to say anything now, so it's all right.
How you doing?
It's good. No, just basically what Nick wrote you the letter there.
Yeah.
I'm Bob Hofer, Nick's partner, co-owner of Lighthouse Lane. So, yeah, I believe this is our 10th or 11th year doing this, and it's a cool little deal we like to do for the community and our customers, and we're just looking to have a little music and tap our toes on a Friday night here and there. So, thank you.
You're welcome. Can I get a motion?
Can I say something?
You certainly. I'm sorry.
As one of the senior counselors, Mr. Gozik and I are the oldest sitting legislators here. I can tell you that there have been no issues in the last 3 years there, and if the police department was there, I'm sure they could probably say the same thing. One of the pluses for this particular venue is, unlike the Sting or Gibby's, it's not really residential. So I don't think that this certainly is not an issue, and it's only till midnight, and it's Friday night besides. So I support this. That's all I have to say.
All right. Can I get a motion? Councilor McBurney, Councilor Cordino.
Councilor Tesorero?
Yes.
Councilor Corradino?
Yes.
Councilor McBurney?
Yes.
Okay, next item. The city clerk's office received a request from R&R Malone III, Inc., the Office Tavern located at 11 West Seneca Street, for a waiver of the noise ordinance in order to host live music at their establishment on Thursday through Saturdays, and also September 2018, as well as Harborfest weekend. Mr. Malone was before the committee a few weeks ago, and he amended his hours. We requested that. So he's in sense in the same hours as we requested everybody else. So I think we're consistent. We've allowed this to happen. He was very kind to come back. It's midnight. I think Councilor McBurney and I, we talked and said that we didn't want anything.
No, it's in line with what we've granted
It's in line with
to
what we've
Gibby's
all-
and also to the Sting, so it's consistent and not outrageous.
Okay. So I fully support this, and I think he did what we asked. Any comments? None? I see none. Can I get a motion? Councilor Cordino? Councilor McBurney?
Councilor Tesorero?
Yes.
Councilor Corradino?
Yes.
Councilor McBurney?
Yes.
That's all I have, unless there's any other business that needs to come before this committee. Any? I see none. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Councilor McBurney? Councilor Cordino?
Councilor Tesorero?
Yes.
Councilor Corradino?
Yes.
Councilor McBurney?
Yes.